Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. This is actually a cup that I bought for my daughter, and she brought it back when she was clearing out her house. So I keep it here for when she's here. A lot of things have been going on in my matchmaker world this week that have made me realize there are things I have not yet shared with you, and I want to do that. One of them led me to having a conversation and sharing a story about letting somebody down easy. And I didn't know if you know how to do that. If you're out there dating, they don't all work out and turn into what we call yes matches, but what you call a successful first date that leads to a second date. And when that happens, I know some people don't really know how to handle that, how to let somebody down or what to say. I mean, that's how ghosting started, so people could avoid that awkwardness. If you want my 2 cents on how I think you can handle that situation that might work for you, stick around because that's what we're talking about today. I really think once you recognize that a relationship isn't going to be coming from someone that you've gone on a date or 2 or 3 with, that my mother's advice is what comes to mind for me and what I pass along to clients. And it's 2 things really. One is that honesty is the best policy. And in most cases, I definitely agree. And in this one, I really think it is the kindest thing you can do for someone as well. And the second one is the way she raised me: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. And I think that honesty is probably what you would want as well if somebody were no longer interested in continuing to get to know more about you. So if you put those things together and you agree that you would want someone to be kind enough to not ghost you or not string you along or not date you when they know in their heart that it's going nowhere, but perhaps they're just keeping it going longer with ulterior motives, I think that leads you to your answer. You have to be honest and you have to be kind. And there are best practices for that as well. Nobody enjoys being in limbo or kind of left hanging or wondering where they stand with you. So I think that you kind of have to let somebody know once you're truly certain of this. Now, some people know that this isn't going anywhere after a first date. Others know after a date or 2. Some people it takes a little bit longer. So whenever that is, I think that's the fair time to be forthcoming and let this other person know that it's over. Now, if it's after a first date, what do you say to this person? What would you say? What I would say and what I recommend my clients say is that you don't have to come right out and say, you're not for me, or you're not my type, or I'm not attracted to you. But you can say something like, I really had a great time and it was really nice meeting you. I hope that you have a great summer. Or I hope you have a great, have a great Christmas coming up if you're dating in November, say, or December. So if it's after the first date and you're sort of put on the spot if somebody is insinuating that they're going to call, or when do you want me to call, or if they don't actually have your number because you've been speaking through an app or through a matchmaker and they ask for your phone number and you are in that moment where, should I just give him my phone number and deal with this later? I say deal with it now, because you're going to send him home with expectations that this is going somewhere. He may be excited about it. She, if you're one of the fellas I know that drop by here for some of the dating advice. So I would right there on the spot say, I had a really nice time I had a really nice time tonight. It was a great conversation. I really enjoyed meeting you. I don't think it's going to be the romantic connection that we were hoping for, but I really had a nice time, so thank you. You can be as simple as that. You can go an extra steps further and say, I hope you really find the person that you're looking for. Something of that nature. Number 3 would be, if it doesn't come up at the end of a first date, how would you handle it after that? And it would probably be in a text message in this day and age. Probably when somebody was asking you out on a second date, or perhaps if they're just trying to really do a lot of communicating before asking you out, like, I had a great time. That's always a nice thing to hear after a date. But if it's a good morning, how are you? Good afternoon, hope you have a great day at work. You're home from work, how was your day? How many days are you going to go through before you let this person know? Because think about it, he's not a mind reader, and you're leaving him in a position where he may be excited for what's to come. He's making plans in his mind. He's starting to envision introducing you to his family this holiday season. So to be kind and let him down at this point, if that's where you are, would be the right thing to do. And you can say the exact same thing. You can say, you know, Steve, it's been great getting to know you. I had a really good time the other night, but I don't think this is heading in the direction of romance. So I just wanted to let you know how much I liked our time together and just really wish you all great things. I hope you find somebody amazing. You deserve it. I mean, to me, that feels honest. If the person's a jerk, then it's a whole different story. But I'm assuming if he's continuing to call you, it's to woo you. And in that case, you want to be as nice as possible and let him down in the most gentle, honest way you can. So if things have gone a little bit further now, and it's after a third date or a fourth date, you've really gotten to know this person. So I'd have to say you've really given them a chance. And I had that situation. I'd seen somebody, and after our third date, he said something about getting together for our fourth date. So I said, I've really enjoyed getting to know you and I've had a good time in our time together. We've had a lot of fun. But I think at this point, I would need to be honest with you and let you know that I don't think that we're a great match. Because, you know, sometimes a relationship peaks after 2 dates. You start to get to know more and you realize that this person isn't going to work into your lifestyle for one reason or the other. Not every match or every person who you enjoy their company is a great match. I recommended a client say, you have been a perfect gentleman and I wanted to thank you for that. It's so nice to meet somebody with such good manners these days. I just want to be upfront and honest with you and let you know that this just does not feel like the romantic connection that I thought it might. The interesting thing about that date was that he pressured me a little bit. Like, why? And that's really putting you on the stop. Well, good luck, goodbye, good manners, right? That's not good manners to ask me why. It's awkward enough trying to tell somebody that you're not attracted to them or whatever is the reason that you're feeling it's not a great match. You don't want to insult anybody. So pressuring for why. But he actually asked me, is there something that I could change? And I thought, wow, you're a handsome, successful guy who's really confident and a great dad, and he had so much going for him. And I thought, why would you want to change something for somebody who just told you they weren't interested? So I think there's a lesson in there too. And what I said to him was exactly that. I'm always pretty honest. I said, why would you want to change something for someone who just told you they didn't feel it was a great match? Because then perhaps, say you did change something for me and it didn't work out. Now you've changed something. Could you get back to who you are so that you're the perfect person for the next woman you meet who is your next great romance? And that's another way to put it as well. I don't think this is going to be the great romance I was hoping for. Another way of phrasing that might feel comfortable to you. The other way to phrase that is that it's not a great fit. How can they be insulted for not being a great fit or not being a romantic connection or not being the next great romance? It's just so subjective that you really shouldn't be taking that personally if anybody says it to you. And I would hope it wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, despite their disappointment, of course, that it's not going to work out if they were feeling differently. And I guess to wrap this up, I just want to say that realize that it really is the kindest thing to do, because I just think it's horrible manners when people ghost us and you're expecting a call and they never call, or they call every once in a while because they're not sure. I think that's called breadcrumbing. And they just keep you there long enough for them to figure it out, but they're really not giving you the attention you deserve or making you feel secure knowing that this is a person who wants to see you again. So I think the kindest thing to do is to be honest. There's some ideas there for what you can say in different scenarios or at different stages in the dating process. But honesty is the best policy, and be kind. You would want somebody to be kind to you. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I hope you will subscribe. It's not always dating advice, but there's plenty of that. There's also makeup and beauty and food and fashion, and we have a lot of fun, all us gals over 50. So please join us by hitting that ring bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I will look forward to seeing you then. Until then, have a good one.